Now then, yesterday in the home dev stream, they kind of mentioned in passing hard mode and ultra hard mode. The problem is there is a lot of information out there that is contradicting this because people haven't paid attention to it. Scott said in passing ultra hard mode would be where, well, the best way to put this, honestly, is to start with hard mode. Upon completing the star chart, I would have to guess it's still outer terminus as the last node upon completing this whole star chart, even though there's still way more things to do here. I honestly have no idea what the exit node is anymore because they kind of looped this all together. Not to mention the fact we now have the void and the derelict, which weren't a thing when the star chart was originally created. But there are 235 nodes. Hang on, clicking the wrong button. 232 star chart nodes. Well, that are counted towards progression anyway. There's actually more than that. But upon completing the star chart, which you can do at sub-level mastery level 10, or mastery rank 10, depending how you want to put that, you will unlock something called hard mode, which means that if we go to Earth and go to Gaia, that will now become a level 51 to 56 mission. This is to encourage people to play nodes that, well, they don't normally do. Mind you, a level 51 to 56 interception with no other players? A level 1 to 6 is actually pretty easy. You can solo that one very easily. When you start to get to level 21, 26, it starts to get a little bit more challenging, but it's still possible to do solo. Then when you get to the 30s or 40s, running between the nodes can be problematic because they will be taking them down just as you're recovering another one, and having other players is going to be really, really useful. But on hard mode, this is basically going to be a level 80 to 90 mission, which is going to be very interesting because it just is. It's going to make things much better, meaning for a lot of players who are just finishing the star charts off, they will be able to start over again and have more challenging level 52 to 54. That would become level 51 to 56. I really hope it doesn't work that way on the planes, because level 60 to level 80 enemies during the day, that could make things annoying more than challenging. But then things will start to get more interesting, as once you have finished this on hard mode, this is where the confusion a lot of people have come across, that they are kind of saying that hard mode is going to be a level 100 plus. So yeah, that's going to be 101 to 106. You get to Pluto, you're talking 132 to 136. That would make things ridiculously interesting for a lot of missions. Level 121 to 126, 123, yeah, and that, as a hard mode, there would be nothing between it. That would be a jump that would be just insane. If they were to just say, oh yes, hard mode is going to be level 100 plus, it would ruin the game instantly. Because people who've just finished the star chart and have decided to look at this on hard mode are going from level 30s, mid-30s, all the way to 100. There would be nothing in the middle. This is because hard mode is going to be plus 50, not plus 100. The plus 100 came from because it's going to be ultra hard mode, which I'm sorry, I'm kind of hoping they call elite mode, because you have Elite Sanctuary Onslaught. They would also need to add another one of these. Ultra Hard Mode Sanctuary Onslaught. Then they talked about what possible rewards would come. Mastery rank, trophies and things like that. Well, it's kind of a work in progress, so there's a lot of it that could possibly change in the future and not actually set and may not happen. Things like nightmare mods, or the nightmare cycle. There would be a second tier of that as well. kind of goes without saying if the normal node was a higher mastery rank than anything else. And one of the reasons that I'm actually coming here to see Little Duck, which, by the way, this technically doesn't give spoilers, though why is she still talking so much? My favourite of all of the things that they talked about is a hard mode / second tier, which would be ultra hard mode shop with tokens, which would kind of be similar to this. This is for the sentient anomalies for Railjack. You get shards and you can bring them here and spend them on whatever you want to spend them on. For the record, I should have way more than 8 of these. Way more than 8, actually, considering being playing the... I've obviously been doing that wrong. But, yeah, you can spend them and they will have to add some amazing rewards to hard mode and ultra hard mode. Because, as it is, for Railjack, for doing these sentient anomalies, there's basically 5 different scenes, which were dropping from kind of crates in the sentient ships. They should have stayed there. The biggest thing to get was the ephemera, which it does cost the most, but yeah, this is not really incentive to do those, to get the anomaly shards, to come here and spend them. So adding a hard mode and adding a shop like this, there will need to be some amazing awards. Didn't really talk about what would be behind it, just the fact that, well, again, upon completing the star chart, you will gain a hard mode that will be plus 50. Upon completing it again, I'm hoping that's how it works. There was just talk of a ultra hard mode on top of that that would be level 100 plus. I'm hoping that when you get to a certain point and it unlocks hard mode, it doesn't unlock ultra hard mode at the same time. Though, if you have completed everything, and when this comes out, I am hoping that for veteran players, it'll kind of unlocks both at the same time. But if they're hiding mastery behind hard mode, so you have to go through it all over again and then start doing it all over again on ultra hard mode to get the rest of the mastery, yeah, make people play all the way through on hard mode and then start again on ultra hard mode, because ultra hard mode, there are going to be certain things that are going to be next to impossible to do. Level 130 to 140 interceptions almost always lead to the same results. The host leaving and everybody else crying because it resets everything and ruins the game. Not always, mostly on interceptions, but the rest of it, yes, it is going to make it harder. Yes, it's going to make the game a lot, I'm not going to say better, it's going to make it more interesting. Yes, I'm looking forward to playing through all of this on hard mode again, but just because they are adding a hard mode doesn't mean that it's going to go from this, where there is basically no open squads, there's nobody playing on Mercury at all, trying to avoid these sentient missions and nightmare missions, because people do still play those. It's going to go from that to lots of people playing it, because you're going to have to start all over again. That will lead to a whole bunch of other issues though, which we're not going to go into, but we are going to leave this off here for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.